All right, so I think we can just go ahead. So hi everyone, and thank you for dropping your names and just introducing yourself basically in the chat box. So for everyone that just joined in, please you can just share your name, the course you'd like to go for, the course you've already registered for, and then where you are coming from. Let's just, meet everyone. So welcome to the student admission office hours for the 1.4 cohort. So basically, the goal of this call is just to run you through the admission process, basically. Just get your questions, honestly. So that's what we're just going to be doing today. So right now, I'll be explaining the whole program to you and just, getting you familiar with the process. And also let's just get to it. Then if you have questions while I'll be speaking, you can just drop it in the chat box and then they'll be attended to towards the end of the call. So let's just know a little bit about Student. So Student is in the business of enabling young aspiring tech talents change their lives by providing them with an environment that develops and applies engineering, data, and design knowledge. So our programs are modified frequently to produce tech talents that compete globally. Then the programs we offer are UI UX design, front-end development, back-end development, mobile development, data science, and software testing. Then we're currently in the 1.4 cohort. We've had the 0.1, we've had 0.2, 0.3, 0.4, 0.5, down to 0.4. So hopefully everyone on the call will be part of the 1.4 cohort. I will be very glad to have you on board. Then let's just go through the application journey. So first off, you're expected to visit our website at www.stu10.com. So after that, you choose a program. Like I mentioned before, we have UI UX design, front-end, back-end, data science, mobile development, software testing. So just pick any program of your choice, then check for your assessment. After you submit your application, you're expected to receive an assessment in your email box immediately. If you don't receive your assessment, please feel free to reach out to us and we will share that with you immediately. So after you get your assessment, you're expected to attempt it and then submit your assessment and wait for an admission decision from Stu10. After the admission decision, you get your admission letter and proceed to make your payment. So that's basically the admission process. Now we're heading to the students learning model. So there are different stages. We have 4 different stages. We have the beginner class, the intermediate class, the project weeks, and the post class. So project-based curriculum and course content. We have incremental milestone portfolio worthy projects, practice questions and mini tasks. We have intertrack projects, and we have industry experts and mentors come to speak to you guys. And then learning support, we have peer-to-peer learning, we have accessible community of learners, we have live sessions and faculty help desk, additional learning resources, guest sessions, weekly check-in and support, and then we also have the student handbook. Then we're moving on to payment options and tuition fees. So what payment options are available and which one is suitable for me? So basically we have 3 different payment options. We have the full tuition payment option. So this is where you pay in full, you pay at once before the start of classes. So prepare the full fees before commencement of the program, suitable for all applicants who can afford a one-off payment, have sponsors, or applicants who have not completed their youth service. So it's for people, this payment option is for people that are able to afford it, or maybe you have sponsors, you can just get them to pay at once and just, straight into class. Then the second payment option is the installmental payment option, where you pay within 4 months. So you'll be paying a particular amount 4 times over the course of 4 months. So that amount for the first month before you start classes. Then the second month into your training, you pay that same amount. Third month, you pay that same amount. Fourth month, you pay that same amount. So it's suitable for applicants who get monthly remuneration, have a small, medium scale business, and applicants who have not completed their youth service. Then the last payment option is the income share option, where you pay an enrollment fee, you get in with an enrollment fee, and then after you get a job, you start paying back 15% of your salary for 24 months. Then it's suitable for applicants or sponsors who cannot readily afford the first two options but have completed their youth service. Then we're going to talk about life after student. Then some of our alumni, for some of our 400 plus alumni, we have Ayo Wole, who works at Interswitch, so who works at Paystack as a product designer. We have Bumi, who works at Livestock Pharmacy as a product manager. And we have Boma Josiah, who is a co-founder of Klein and also works as a product designer at Tunga. Then, so we have a tweet from Razak Ahmed. He says, going by my interactions with applicants for the recent UI UX role advertised by CarryWise, Suten is doing something right with respect to helping aspiring developers and designers build technical skills in Nigeria. Keep it up. So this is what Razak Ahmed has to say about the student program. Then, so we have 95% path to employment. So we have 95% of our alumni working remote. We have 5% as freelance, and we have some others as entrepreneurs like Boma Josiah, who is a co-founder at Client. So we have people that start up their own companies as well. Then let's talk about your role. So student role. So there are some of the job placement or efforts on our end to connect you to your dream job. So project-based learning, we offer project-based learning, portfolio of presentable projects, demo day, access to our alumni network, connect with employers on our higher pay. So basically, demo day is where we invite employers virtually, so you get the chance to pretty much present the projects that you've worked on to these employers, and once you get the job, your project done well, there's a chance that employers will be like, oh, I like this design, who designed this? And from there, it can lead to getting a job and all of that. Then we have key numbers. So we have enrolled 500 plus, more than 500 people, and more than 70% of our learners get placement within 90 days of graduation. And then the average starting salary is about 150,000 naira. So that's basically it. It's time for questions. So do we have questions? Please, if you have questions, we can drop it in the chat box. So I'll just be going through the questions. Okay. All right, so let's start with, okay, Okonkwo Olivia says, can the classes be offline too? So the classes are basically virtual classes. So how it works is, I'll just give you like an example. How it works is, it's flexible learning actually. So how it works is, let's say you're in a book club and you're expected to read a book, let's say 5 chapters. So you're expected to read 1 chapter per week, and at the end of the week, you're expected to give a summary of what you learned in that chapter. So that's how the training works. It is something that you do in your own time, something that you do your own time. And it's like this majorly because of people who work 9 to 5. So let's say after you've had a long day, you can come back home and rest. After you get enough rest, you're able to still pick up your computers and go through your pre-recorded videos. So we're going to be unlocking 1 module per day for you on your portal, and then you get the chance to do it in your own time. We also have live sessions where let's say once or twice a week, depending on the course you go for. We have live sessions. And for people that live sessions where you meet with your tutors and get a chance to ask questions, and he or she will help guide you on, the course and all. Then for people that work 9 to 5, the live sessions will be recorded. So you're going to definitely have access. You're going to definitely have access to that. So we also have a space at Dagada where you can come in to access internet, electricity, and also meet with the community of learners. So I hope that answers your question. Yeah, Okonkwo Olivia. Daniel, would you like to
Hi,
say something?
Forever. So I would also like to answer. Yes, I would also like to answer the question. So on learning, so for learning, there are three different phases in learning as student. We have the beginners phase, we have the intermediate phase, and we have the project phase. So the beginners phase is like the most intense phase, like I always tell people, because most people that come into our programs have little to zero knowledge about the different tracks they are going for: data science, product UI UX, software development, mobile development. So for the beginners phase, you would need a lot of handholding. Handholding in the sense that a lot more live sessions and also pre-recorded videos. So at the beginning of the week, you get access to your pre-recorded video as Forever has mentioned. While during the week, you would also have live sessions with your mentors. So your mentors are your teaching assistants. They are people that are already they are in the industry. So they are also currently in the industry, so that whatever they are teaching you is industry relevant. So every day for the beginners phase, every day during the week, you have your live sessions. However, for people that work 9 to 5, and for people that for some reason might not be able to meet up with the live session for that particular day, these sessions are also recorded in the case that you would be able to, you would have access to these videos at the end of the day on your learning platform, which is Citron, which you would know more about when you're enrolling to student. So that is how learning works. And every week you're also given practice questions and also assignments. You also have your peer-to-peer learning. Peer-to-peer learning, because some people, even if they hear directly from the tutors, they also want to hear what their fellow colleagues have to say. And because the program is 100% online, we also want you to network and also meet new people along this journey. So for peer-to-peer learning, we pair people in the same track together to work on what you've been taught in the week, to like share ideas and also present to the entire team. So that is for the beginners phase and the intermediate phase. Then the last phase of learning as student is your project phase, where you work on a real life project, where you work on a real life project with a cross section of different people in different tracks. So if I enroll for the data science program for my project phase, I'm going to be working with a product designer from the UI UX track. I'm going to be working with a front end developer, a back end developer, a data scientist, a mobile developer, a software tester. We're all going to come together to create a product. We're all going to come together to work on a project. I like to call it like mini startup, because this is what you are going to face at the end of the day when you go into the industry. So as a product designer, you've been learning for, let's say, 4 to 6 months. You want to know how it is to execute your designs and stuff like that. So during this project phase, you have the idea around that, work with a team, a product manager, and when you're done with this product, you also pitch it to our employers during the demo day, basically. So that is like the last phase of learning as student. Thank you, Forever. Also, yeah, I would also like to touch on agreement before I hand over to Forever. So, for your agreement, either you're going for the full tuition, installment, ISA agreement. Whenever you're sending your agreement, please send from the first page to the last page. So from page one to the last page where you have the final signature, everything together, just compile it. And you don't need to send this, you don't need to come down physically to send this. You can scan it and send it online. You should scan it and send it online. Thank you very much, Forever. You can take it from it.
All right, thank you, Daniel. Thank you very much for that. So, Let's get back to the questions. So Emed Young, sorry if I mispronounced your name. So he's asking, how long is the training? So training is for 6 to 8 months. The classes run for 6 to 8 months. Then Virginia Ojo asks, hi, how beginner friendly is, but I think we already talked about that. Daniel and I already talked about that. And also your second question, we already explained that. Can I combine the learning period with a full-time job? So already explained how flexible the training is, or the training is going to be for you. Then Anu says, if after training and I'm able to get the money, can I pay instead of paying it for 24 months? Definitely, you can pay up. If you can pay up at once if you want to do that. So you don't have to wait to try to spread across the money across 24 months. Yeah, so you can pay up right after your training if that's what you want to do. So Harry Ofori says, how much is the tuition fee? So we have three different payment options. The first payment option is the full tuition payment option. You'll be paying 540,000 naira at once at a go before the start of classes. The second payment option is the installmental payment option, where you'll be paying installments. You'll be paying 146,000 naira 4 times. So it's going to be 4 times. It's going to be 146,000 naira for the first month, second month, third month, and the fourth month. Then the last payment option is the income share agreement, where you pay an enrollment fee of 86,000 naira. You pay that before the start of classes, and then after you get a job, you start paying back 15% of your salary for 24 months. So I hope that answers your question, Solomon. Then Pressure says, as regards the tuition for installment agreement rather, how much is to be paid after submitting the agreement and within how many weeks? So I think I just answered the question. For installmental agreement, you're paying in installments. So you're paying 146,000 naira first, and then after you get it, sorry, 146,000 naira 4 times actually. I just answered that question. Then Ahmed says, when are we going to have the feedback for the admissions being successful or otherwise? How much is the admission tuition fee? All right, so for your first question, after you submit your assessment, you're expected to get feedback within 2 to 3 days after submission. So if you're yet to get your feedback, please, you can just send us an email to admissions@student.com, and then we'll look into it. So I think I just answered how much the tuition fee costs. So Chidima is asking, how long is the training? Again, 6 to 8 months. Then Samson says, can we come in every day during weekdays to access internet? And of course, so once you are enrolled into the program, you're free to come in to the space Mondays to Fridays, 9 to 5 p.m. whenever you want. So to access internet live and also meet with the community of learners. Then Chidima says, do you get jobs from outside the country? So we have situations where some of our alumni get jobs not from Nigeria, from outside the country. Yes. Then Benita says, I sent my signed agreement form, but I haven't gotten any response yet. So Benita, sorry for that. Can you help? If you sent it to admissions@student.com, please kindly forward the agreement to account@student.com for quicker response. Thank you. And you can also send us an email when you do that. Thank you. I thought UIX was 6 to 8 months. That's what I just said, is 6 to 8 months. Samson, 6 to 8 months, please. Then Lillian says, how much is the Techsis scholarship fee for upfront payment? And if you're paying in installments or income sharing agreement, is the fee more, and how much is it? So I haven't actually gone through the African Techsis scholarship. So basically the African Techsis scholarship is female focused because we're trying to encourage more women get into tech. So I'll just run you through the payment options for the African Techsis scholarship. So it's still the same payment options: full tuition, instrumental, and income sharing agreement. So the first payment option for the scholarship, full tuition, you'll be paying 270,000 naira at once before the start of classes. So it's 50% off. So it's pretty much just half of what I've explained before. So for the full tuition, you'll be paying 270,000 naira at once before the start of classes. The second payment option, instrumental, you'll be paying 73,000 naira 4 times. You'll be paying 73,000 naira 4 times. That's for 4 months. So 73K for the first month, second month, third month, and the fourth month. Then the last payment option is the income share agreement. So you'll be paying 73,000 naira enrollment fee first before the start of classes. And then after you get a job, you start paying us back 15% of your salary for 12 months now instead of 24 months. So I hope that answers your question, Lillian. Then Sharon OK says, how many classes in a week, please? So like I said before, I've explained the learning model, the structure of the learning. So it's flexible learning. So I can't tell you you're going to have classes 4 times a week and all. We work with pre-recorded videos. So it's something that you can do depending on the time that you have, even though please take note that you would definitely have deadlines and you're expected to submit your assessments towards the end of the week. So it's something that you do in your own time. I explained that earlier. Then Tosin says, please, I need a phone number I can call. All right. So before the end of the this call, we'll be dropping our contact details for you to, be able to reach out and all of that. So we'll share that with you, email address and contact and other contact details. Then so that says, what about the zero enrollment fee? Thank you for asking that, Suyat. So for the zero enrollment fee, also for just women, so it's where you don't pay any enrollment fee. You just sign your agreement, and then share that with us. You get immediately you get enrolled into the program, and then after you get a job, you start paying us back 20% of your salary for 12 months, and this is just for women again. So Magdalene says, if I choose to pay back right after or before classes end, will that be the total amount? Will that be the total amount, 270K, for those who have the scholarship, or will it be more? So yes, Magdalene, if you're going for the income sharing agreement, you get to pay your enrollment fee of 73,000 naira and then start paying back. So once you get your admission, actually, that will be shared with you. This information will be shared with you, how much you're expected to pay back. So I hope that answers your question, Magdalene. So Virginia says, you said the whole fee can be paid after the month's training instead of the 24-month plan. Would it still be the same 540,000 naira? So like I said, I already answered Magdalene's question. It applies to you also, Virginia. So after you get your admission, you go through your agreement, all these details are in your agreement. So you have an idea of this once you get your admission and go through the agreement. And then this says, Anuluako says, I took the assessment test and I'm here to get a mail after that. All right, so you can send us an email stating this, and then we'll get back to you. Thank you, Anuluako. Then Damilola O says, after paying the enrollment fee, how much in total is to be paid if one applies using, or I think I already answered this question. Yes, I already answered that question. Then Chidima says, for female who haven't done their NYSC, can they get the scholarship? Of course, you can get the scholarship. So once you're female, you are going to get the scholarship as long as you pass your assessment. So whether you've done your NYSC or not, you're going to get the scholarship. Then Loy says, I submitted my signed agreement form to account at student and I haven't gotten any feedback. So you probably sent it to the wrong email address. So it's account without an S, account@student.com. There is no S in the account. Thank you, Lois. So you can try sending that again, and maybe you should get a response. So Barakat says, so regardless of the amount you earn, you have to pay 20% for 12 months. So yes, Barakat, once you get a job, as long as we review how much you're earning, that will be discussed when you get to that river. Thank you, Barakat. So Timlay says, is it too late to defer? So it's not too late to defer. If you decide to hold on with your admission, you can just wait till the next cohort, which is next year, and then you can reach out to us and we'll sort all of that out. Thank you, Timney. Then Cynthia says, Must the guarantor be a civil servant, please? I don't know if it has been addressed earlier. So hi Cynthia, you can just send us an email with this and then we'll share a response to try and find a solution to this. Thank you, Cynthia. Then Ahmed Young Amos says, is there a particular stack one would choose for software development? So yes, we have divided it into back-end development and front-end development. So you can decide to apply for one of these courses. So yes, we divided it into back-end development and front-end development. So all you have to do is just go to the website and then you will find those two courses and decide the one you want to go for. So does anybody else have questions? All right. Dell says, is there a course for a full stack dev? All right. So you have to, at Twitter, you have to take the software engineering courses one at a time. So it's either you go for front-end development or you go for back-end development. You can't do the both of them at the same time. Then Henry says, please, I've paid for the enrollment fee and sent receipts to account at Twitter. What do I do next? All right, so you will get a response. Thank you for the nudge. You will get a response, and then once we'll share with you different materials that you need once it's time for that. So you just have to hold on and prepare your mind, really prepare yourself mentally for the training starting in September. Then Joanna says, for me, who was given a conditional admission, can I pay a first installment, still waiting to ascertain my continuity after the first? Of course, you can go ahead and make your payment, Joanna. You can go ahead and make your payment. So that's all the questions. Anybody have questions? Please do well to drop it in the chat box. All right. Thank you, Afis, for the question. I was sent the admission letter precisely last week, Friday. I just want to ask if I can still make the payment on Monday next week. Definitely, Afis, you can still go ahead and make your payment on Monday. Then Okonkwo says, Okonkwo Olivia says, written the test and my score was sent almost immediately, but I haven't received an admission letter yet. So hi, Okonkwo Olivia. I'm not sure when you submitted your assessment, but if it has been more than 2 or 3 days, or let's say if it has been more than 3 days, please send an email. Please send an email to admissions@student.com. I'll share the contact details with everyone very soon. So admissions@student.com, and then we'll look into this. Thank you, Olivia. So Daniel, would you like to say anything?
Thank you very much, Forever. I think you have covered it all. If you have any further questions later, you can just reach out to us at admissions@student.com, and you can also message us on any of our social media handles, Student HQ on Instagram, Student on Twitter, and we'll be sure to answer all your questions. And for Madueke Samuel, I have made my Yes, that means you have been enrolled into the program, Madueke Samuel. And if you made your payments if you made your first installment or your ISA payment this week, you should be getting a receipt of payment before the end of next week. Thank you very much, everyone, for attending this call. We'll also be meeting again next week to also take further questions that you might have. Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you, Daniel, for that. And thank you, everyone, for joining the call. Like Daniel said, if you have any more questions, please feel free to send us an email, admissions@student.com, and we'll be happy to answer. You can also reach out to us via social media. And yeah, we'll be happy to answer your questions. Thank you all. All right. So please hold on. Let me try to drop the contact details. All right, so I just shared the contact details, so you can just call and ask your questions. Thank you, everyone, for joining the call. I hope that you've been able to pick a few things or a lot of things during this call, and I hope you have an amazing weekend. Thank you again. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.